Good morning. It is December the 16th. So it has been, 9 days now since I filmed the opening of Box 1 of the Black Friday Sentai Filmworks sale. Box opening. And as you can see, now this box actually arrived yesterday on December 15th, so 8 days after Box 1. I have pre-opened it so we don't have the frustration of me trying to hold a camera and a box cutter and slice at the same time, because that's slightly dangerous. So I've already pre-sliced this open. This arrived yesterday, like I said, 8 days after. Tracking information was kind of interesting on it. They actually mailed this on December the 3rd, and it took 12 days to get here, which is really strange. And the tracking data had some strange anomalies in it, but it got here, so that's great. Sentai's customer service department actually did get back with me about this, and they got me the tracking number the day before it arrived, which ironically the tracking number showed that they had failed to deliver it that very day, which I don't know why that was the case, because I got the mail from the mail carrier that day. But our mail carriers have switched over to using postal vans, which are brand new, and I don't think they're quite used to carrying around 2 to 3 times as much stuff in their vehicle with them anymore, or that they used to in their smaller vehicles. So I'm going to throw it up as a learning curve on that specific day, but why it sat in one of the postal facilities for 5 consecutive days, that's a mystery. Doesn't matter, it's here now. So this is the rest of the order. I have, as I said, already pre-opened the box, and ooh, it's packed so nice and neat. Look at that. So we have 10 DVDs, 5 Blu-ray titles. Alright, and like I said, this was ordered Sentai started their sale 1 week before Black Friday. I ordered it 6 days before Black Friday, so the Saturday before Black Friday. Okay, well, let's see if I can pull things out in some sort of ordered manner, because they don't load in a manner that really typically makes a lot of sense, do they? Here we go. Okay. Nobunaga the Fool, and it is a kind of a giant mech series of some sort. I don't know. Again, I don't really like to read up on them too much before I get a chance to watch them. It is in 2 parts, so we have Collection 1, Collection 2. Collection 1, 13 episodes on 3 discs. Widescreen release. I don't know why my camera's not wanting to focus today. Why aren't you wanting to focus today? There we go. Okay. Alright. And Collection 2. Oh, it has on the front 12 episodes on 3 discs. Yes. Alright. Next up, Wish Upon the Pleiades Complete Collection. That is 12 episodes on 2 discs. So on some of these later releases that are sub-only, I've seen a lot of this where they put 6 episodes per disc, which is fine, I guess. Anyhow, so yeah, there's that. Wish Upon the Pleiades. Alright. Yes, okay. So there's Season 4 of Hiate the Combat Butler. As you'll recall, I got the bulk of the series in the first order. And this one is 12 episodes on 2 discs, yet again. And I just found out that they are starting to dub this series, so I'm guessing that's for High Dive at least. It's on High Dive that they've got dubs of this series, which that's amazing that it's getting dubbed this many years later. Yeah, that's really interesting. So that's the final season of Hiate the Combat Butler, and then of course there's a movie that follows up that, which we got in the last shipment. Here we go. Recon. And it's some sort of a series about ghosts. And it is 13 episodes on 3 discs. Hooray. Okay, moving on. The rest of Captain Earth. Okay, so there's Collection 2. Collection 1 came in the first box. And it is... Oh, okay. So it is the rest. So this is... So the first collection was 13 episodes on 3 discs. This is 12, at least I think that was right. This is 12 episodes on 2 discs. So there's 25 episodes in this series total. That's interesting. I thought it was a 24 episode series. That's fine. Okay, next. Hanayamata Complete Collection. It's got a very colorful artwork going on there. This is the sort of thing you might have like a poster of, I don't think. Anyhow, not that I have places to hang posters up here, but... Modern Rhythms, so it's about dancing, I know that much. Some sort of cultural dancing thing. And it is 12 episodes on 3 discs. Okay, continuing. Blade and Soul Complete Collection. For the longest time, I thought, and I finally took the chance to start reading the description of this, I thought this was a series that Pioneer or Genion had already previously released. And apparently I was totally wrong on that. Yeah, so this is 13 episodes on 3 discs. But yeah, somehow I had this completely confused with Soul Bianca. Don't ask me how. Okay. Celestial Method. One of those series I have no knowledge about, but hey, for $3 you can't go wrong. And it is 13 episodes on 3 discs. So, some sort of a love story? I don't know. Find out when I watch it, right? Okay. Moving on. Last of the DVDs in the box. Magical Warfare! And this is, I think, the only one I bought this dubbed. And this is 12 episodes on 2 discs. No, 3 discs. I'm misreading that well. Okay. And this I actually caught the first 2 episodes of on a bootleg YouTube channel. I was like, well, that looks interesting, but I don't know the name of it. And then I was reading the comments on the second episode because I'm like, I don't know what this series is. They've edited out the title. They've edited out the credits. What is this series? I hate watching stuff on YouTube, this bootleg. But it was like, I just caught a glimpse of it, and I wasn't sure it was a whole episode, but I started watching, it's like, this is really kind of cool. Anyhow, okay, moving on to my Blu-rays. Okay, this is a sketchy-looking title. I don't know a whole lot about it. This was also released on DVD, but the DVD has been sold out for years, and sells for a fortune. And that is Daishogan Great Revolution. As you can see, it has a very sketchy-looking cover. Well, it is rated TVMA VSL. It is all 12 episodes on a single Blu-ray disc. And it's kind of some sort of strange... I did read the description for this one. It's a strange giant mech series where apparently the guy... You can't pilot it unless there's like close contact with the female cope. We're not going to go there. Anyhow. Next, Typhoon Naruto. I don't know anything about this, but this is an OVA, which OVAs getting released by themselves anymore. It's just so uncommon. Used to be the market was flooded with, short single episode length original video animations that were direct release even in Japan. I think this one, though, I vaguely remember reading a little something about it before Sentai ever had it licensed, that it was like a TV special, or something of that nature. Let's see here. And it is a runtime of only 26 minutes, so it could have been a broadcast TV special, but it's not associated with anything else. It's just a one-off, and that's a really rare thing these days, to find a project that has been made like that, unfortunately. In Japan, they still get a good bit of that stuff, but here, and even I say Japan has it, but even in Japan now, a lot of stuff that would have been OVA years ago is now getting like direct release through streaming services is like streamed content exclusives through like the Bandai channel website and stuff like that. So you don't see as much of it getting licensed anymore because of that. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I think price-wise, I think that was $7, but the DVD release for this sells for outrageous money on the secondary market, and I was like, well, $7. I don't care about Blu-rays very much. That might surprise some people. I don't like the Blu-ray format because it's very restrictive on your playback devices, whereas, you know, I can... should I say this? I can buy a DVD copy, right? I can take these DVDs, I can put them in my computer, I can watch them on my computer, I can watch them on my laptop, I can watch them on any DVD player, I can watch them on any Blu-ray player, alright? I can watch them on portable DVD players, which I have a portable DVD player that hooks up in my car, I have a portable battery-powered DVD player, and that's in addition to owning a laptop that has a DVD player. You can play DVDs anywhere. Not only that, but there's software out there, which I will not go into, that allows you to rip your DVDs into MP4 format files. And I have ripped several of my DVDs and uploaded the videos onto my PlayStation Vita's memory card and watched them on my PlayStation Vita. I know people who've done the same thing and put them on the memory cards on their smartphones and watched them, you know, during their lunch breaks and stuff. You can do so much more with a DVD. You can rip a Blu-ray, but Blu-ray optical drives for computers are just outrageously expensive. You know, a DVD drive is a standard feature in most computers. If your computer is a super modern one, some of them don't have them, but you can add a DVD drive, you know, $15 to $30, you know. There's not much price spread on them as far as getting a really nice one versus a really cheap one. Even a really cheap one works as well as a really nice one. So, but a Blu-ray drive, an El Cheapo Blu-ray drive for your computer is going to run you at least $50. And having had experience with those drives, and having had experience with the drives that are supposed to be the high-end drives, they don't last. They're just, I don't like the format, period. You know, you're not going to go out and put a Blu-ray drive and upgrade in your laptop either, unless you have a really good laptop with a really good graphics chip that supports Blu-ray playback, and then you still got to buy the Blu-ray playback software, whereas DVD playback can be done with free software that's legal. And I don't know, I'm just not a fan of the Blu-ray format. It has too many issues. I lament that HD DVD did not conquer the market because that was the better format. Okay, moving on. I have finally completed my Girls und Panzer anime collection. And this is Girls und Panzer, the movie, Blu-ray DVD combo. Now, right now, this is going all of the Girls und Panzer stuff with Sentai is going out of print. Speculation is that sometime in 2021, which is next year, which is less than a month away, sometime next year, we anticipate that they are going to do a Blu-ray Ultimate collection, which will be all 4 of the releases as Blu-ray only in one collection. It will be the TV series, the OVA series, the OVA, this is the Real Enzo Battle, which was actually 2 episodes cut from the TV series because the TV series needed to be restricted to either 12 or 13 episodes for that particular season it was going to air in, and that would have put it at like 15 episodes if I remember correctly. So they had to cut episodes. So if you ever watched the TV series and you remember a point where there's a gap between 2 of the episodes that's not explained, that's the gap. They released those direct to home video, those 2 missing episodes. And then you have the theatrical movie, which is like the conclusion. Now, when I say it's the conclusion, recent word out of Japan is that Girls und Panzer is going to have potentially 5 more movies, which is pretty incredible. I do not know if Sentai has the license for those or not, That's kind of a mystery. I don't think anybody knows if they're the ones that will be licensing it, since they have everything else so far. It would be disappointing if Sentai didn't get it, to be honest. But that is the movie, and we talked about, shortness, the allowed shortness of movies in Japan because of their movie standards. This movie is properly long. This is, let's see, 119 minutes, so it's nearly 2 hours long. So that's a properly long movie. And that is the DVD and the Blu-ray in that set. And this is going out of print, like I said. They've sold out of almost everything Girls in Panzer at this point. But this was kind of the price. I think this was the most expensive thing I ordered in the set. I think I paid $7.99 for this, which was fantastic. Okay. And I still got 2 more to go, and I'm going to pull them both out at the same time, and I'm going to put them down at the same time. And this concludes my Sentai releases of Fate Khalid Ilya Prisma Ilya. So this is a alternate reality series in the Fate Stay Night universe. And this, of course, focuses on Ilya Seville. This is the last 2 pieces. Now, there's a big screw-up. There's a big controversy on this. Sentai has the license for Season 1. They have the license for Season 2. They have the license for the OVA collection. They have the license for the finale movie. Somehow or another, Funimation scored the license for Season 3. Funimation refuses to release Season 3. They have it on their streaming service, subtitled only. Sentai went to the trouble of dubbing everything else. So I don't know what was going through the puny brains of the people who run Funimation, but I suspect it was purely just to spite Sentai, and I don't think they really considered the ramifications of fans not being happy with what they did. Funimation has plenty of series that they have licensed that you can say they are basically their exclusives, and that they are their exclusives, and they've done a great job with many of those. They have problems with their company, which I won't go into in this video, but to go out and make a point of licensing something away from another company that has everything else, it's a dick move. It really was. And then to release it sub-only when everything else is dubbed, and then to refuse to do a home video. Well, so far they have refused to do a home video release, and it's kind of up in the air because, of course, Funimation is a Sony company. Sony has the license for most of the other Fate Stay Night franchise properties, and they release them through Aniplex America, which is their premium, expensive, to the point that I own nothing from Aniplex of America releases. Like Funimation released these only have a $19.99 MSRP. If these had been released by Aniplex of America, just like this, just standard Blu-rays, these would have been $50 a piece for MSRP, which is stupid. But that's Aniplex of America. It's all Sony at the end of the day. Sony ultimately has all say in all that stuff. So, but yes, moving on, back to the product. So this is, and I want to point out that the series Season 1 and Season 2, which is divided up into 2 parts, because Season 1, I think, is either 12 or 13 episodes. I don't have it handy. Season 2 is divided up into 2 halves. So it's like the first collection is Two's Way, and the second half of Season 2 is Two's Way Hers. And I have those on DVD. Those are available for DVD and Blu-ray format. I have the DVD releases on those because, as I just stated, I prefer the DVD releases for my viewing options. These are only available on Blu-ray. This goes back to a complaint a lot of people, myself included, have had with Sentai, is back when they announced they were going to discontinue releasing titles on DVD. They had specified that they would continue to release titles on DVD that were parts of franchises where they had already released on DVD. Well, that would mean there should have been DVD releases for these two titles. There are not. They're Blu-ray only, which is very disappointing. So, make of that what you will. So these I'll have to watch at home on the Xbox One, since that's the only functional Blu-ray player I currently have. But, so yes, this is like OVAs that are attached, I believe, to Season 3, to be honest. I don't know if that's correct, or if this was actually a direct-to-video OVA set in Japan. I'm not actually sure. But this is 62 minutes on one disc. I don't know if that focused well enough, but there you go. 62 minutes on one disc for this release. And that is Prisma Phantasm, which is the OVA collection. Okay. This is the theatrical movie. This is Vow in the Snow. Oh, it does say movie right there on the top. How about that? Okay. This is 89 minutes. Of course, also on one disc. Yeah, so that's the movie. So that's as far as you can go with owning the series on home video outside of Japan. Of course, in Japan, Season 3 has a home video release. Outside of Japan, I don't think it's available in any region, because unfortunately, so to go into a little bit of a rant here concerning Sony now trying to take control of the global anime market. They, of course, just agreed to purchase Crunchyroll, which is like the #1 streaming service, which I personally hate because I never could get Crunchyroll to work properly. I know people who canceled their subscriptions because Crunchyroll does not typically work properly. They've got issues with their streaming software, as far as I know. And they've had that issue for years. So it's like I have, on the PlayStation Vita, Crunchyroll was an early adopter of support for the Vita. They came out with the Crunchyroll app. Well, that's great. Install the Crunchyroll app. Of course, Crunchyroll is a service where they have free stuff that you can watch, that anybody can watch with or without an account. They have their premiums, which are like their dubs, some of their exclusives, and you can only watch those with a paid account, which is fine. I have no problem with them doing business in that manner. The problem I have with them is that their platform is broken. Their platform has been broken from the onset. The Vita app, you could never finish watching a show. Like, you know, you pick an episode. You know, you want to watch episode 1 of, I don't know, what's a good example here? It doesn't really matter. Let's say you want to watch episode 1 of Recon, okay? Well, you go and you start watching episode 1. And the way they interrupt, the software interrupts to run the commercials that, you know, the TV, paid advertising, which is how that's supported if you're on a free account, which is a no account at all. It breaks the video player. And I had people telling me, you know, in the Vita community, that even if you had a paid account and you were logged into the app with a paid account, it still crashed. It still had the commercial interrupts. It would blank. So if you had a paid account, the commercial interrupts were just embedded into the playback software. And it would interrupt, the video would pause, the screen would go black, your account would validate that you were a paid account and you didn't have to view advertising. And instead of continuing to play the video, it just stopped there. And that was a big complaint. You know, I mean, why would anybody, you know, so many other streaming platforms got it right. Daisuki.net or .com, I can't remember anymore. That was a Japanese-owned streaming platform for North America. That went defunct. Their platform worked. You know, they didn't have apps for your game systems at that time because they never made it far enough into popularity to warrant throwing that kind of money around. But they actually, you know, and that's my thing, even on a PC, Crunchyroll crashed. You know, whether you were trying to watch it app-based or if you were trying to watch it just through the web browser, it crashed. Just like it did on the PlayStation Vita. And even now, on the Xbox One, if you throw up your Crunchyroll app, which I have tested numerous times, it crashes. It has the same issue that the PlayStation Vita version app had in 2014. This is the year 2020, and they still haven't worked it out. They never will. They don't really care. Okay? And how they maintain their popularity is beyond me. I know people claim that they get on there and they're able to watch stuff. I can't for the life of me figure out how. Most of the people I know never have been able to get it to work properly. I don't know, it's a toss-up in there, but point being, Crunchyroll is considered the #1 streaming service. Of course, Sentai has High Dive. High Dive is, gaining in popularity because they apparently don't have those crashing problems. I can't attest to that on a personal level, since I have not watched anything on High Dive. That does require a paid account. But, if you're paying for an account to view stuff, it better work. That's all I can say. So, Crunchyroll being sold to Sony, who already owns Funimation, who already has the Funimation Now streaming service, which also allegedly has problems, from everything I've heard. It doesn't crash as frequently, but it does crash sometimes. That's still an annoyance. But yeah, Funimation has been or Sony's been on a buying spree. So in North America, they own Funimation. They already own Aniplex of America, because that is actually a subsidiary and has been all along of theirs. They bought Manga Entertainment, which was based out of the British Empire. They had U.S. operations, though, so there was still Manga Entertainment was both North America and European operations. They bought Manga Entertainment. In Australia, I believe they purchased Madman Entertainment, which that operates in Australia and New Zealand. And they're working on, my understanding is they've purchased some mainland Europe anime publisher as well. I don't know who that is. I just vaguely remember hearing that. But it's part of their global initiative to control the entire anime market globally. And there's a lot of kickback on that. Because within Japan, obviously Sony is a competitor for all these other animation studios. And a lot of these animation studios do not want to work with Sony. That's a competitor. So inside Japan, they don't work with Sony. Outside of Japan, they're being really limited now. So you have your handful of independents in every region now. So in this region, we have, of course, Sentai Filmworks, which they are renaming their company just to Sentai. I will bring that out. The boxes still say Filmworks. But do I have any other newer? Yeah, here we go. That says Filmworks. Oh, yeah. Newer releases. So about 6 months ago, they dropped Filmworks. And it's just Sentai. And the website, if you try to go to SentaiFilmworks.com, it actually does redirect you to Sentai.com now. Because they have dropped the Filmworks part. It is just purely Sentai. But so you have Sentai. They're an independent, of course, still. And unfortunately, none of the other companies have a whole lot of money to throw at this sort of thing anymore. So you do still have Anime Igo in the market, but they're not licensing anything new, to my knowledge. And everything they've done in recent years has been through Kickstarter campaigns to digitally remaster things. They already have licenses for that they have. From the old days that were holdovers where they didn't necessarily have an expiration on their licenses. You have Media Blasters, Anime Works. So Media Blasters is hung in there. They nearly went out of business, and I applaud them for managing to not. Because we need more publishers, we need more choice. Pony Canyon. Now, Pony Canyon's interesting because, of course, they're also an animation studio. That is a U.S. North American branch for a Japanese animation studio that's a much bigger company in Japan. They do self-publish their stuff over here, but the problem is if you don't know about Pony Canyon, then you don't know that you can order from them. So, I mean, their titles are for sale through Right Stuff. They sell directly through their website, but like Anime or Aniplex of America, they're a premium title brand. So you go over to their website, expect not to find anything less than $50, because they're just really pricey. Because they're basing everything on market prices in Japan, not market prices for North America, and that's a big screw up in my opinion. They really should have reevaluated that, I think. But they've actually been in operation now, I believe, for 3 or 4 years, maybe a little longer. But that's just how, obscure, unfortunately, they are in the market. Nippon Ichi Software America, which is NIS America, more commonly called, they're claiming they're not out of the anime publishing and licensing yet. They did just make a deal, though, with Sony to have the anime that they still have under license, because they lost a ton of their licenses over just the last 3 years. That their titles they still hold licenses to are going to be available to stream on Funimation now, which tells me that in the near future they'll probably dump their anime division. They're known for video games, not really for anime. They do have a flagship title under their belt that they hold the license to, and that is Cardcaptor Sakura. They have both the original English dub, they have their new subtitle, uncut, and that's what they have their claim to fame for. And Funimation has the follow-up series, Cardcaptor Sakura Crystal Card, I believe is the name of it. I can't remember for sure. But that's all over the place. The 2 movies are under license to Discotek. Discotek is an independent. They're a little strange, though, because I think they think a little too highly of themselves. So it's like Sentai. I think very highly of Sentai. They're a very pro company. Everybody in Sentai, is a industry veteran. These people know what they're doing. They came along after. A lot of those people were directly involved in AD Vision in the early days, so they know what they're doing when they handle their anime. Discotek's a mystery. Discotek, I feel like some of the releases are not up to par with how well they touted them. Maybe they'll improve in the years. I don't know. I don't know. They've been around for like 10 years already, and I haven't seen really any improvement so much in their case. But they are another independent, and I like to support the independents, and that's my problem. Funimation used to be an independent. I used to support them rather heavily, even though they had quality issues like crazy. But now that they're owned by Sony, they've continued to make changes in the wrong direction, in my opinion. I still buy some of their stuff. I don't like to show it off because I'm almost remorseful to say I support them. But, it's like anything else. They have exclusives. Everybody has exclusives. But then when they pull off a dick move like, licensing Prisma Ilya Season 3 and refusing to do a home video release, refusing to dub it, it makes it hard to want to support such a company. In the past, such things happened. Like with Central Park Media licensing what's the name of it? They got the license to the second movie of a really big popular series that Anime Igo had. And you got the impression it was a legitimate, we didn't realize necessarily we were doing that, kind of thing. 'Cause it was like a package deal they got from the animation studio. And they actually worked with Anime Igo. They actually tried to make the cover art match up with what Anime Igo was doing for all the other movie releases for that franchise. And Anime Igo, in turn, actually, when they released the chipboard box that held all the movies and the OVAs, they left a spot for that movie. And if you saw them together, and some of the few lucky people who have that collection, it blends and it matches, and it's like, wow, that's a cooperative sort of release. We're not seeing any kind of cooperation out of Funimation here. It's like you're holding Season 3. We can buy Season 1, we can buy Season 2, we can buy the OVA collection, we can buy the finale movie, but you're not releasing a Season 3. And I don't want your Funimation Now service. Thank you, keep that. Nobody cares about that, Sony. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. But yeah, so this was my anime haul for Black Friday. So in grand total, it was a whopping 30 DVD releases and 5 Blu-ray releases, or Well, technically that one's a Blu-ray and a DVD, so I guess it's 41 DVD and 5 Blu-ray. Well, you know. Great stuff. Can't go wrong. The holiday sale has the exact same prices on everything, with a couple of exceptions which don't apply to anything here. Fantastic sale. Hit 'em up. Buy a bunch of anime. Show your support for the industry. Don't boo-cook stuff. Okay. Bye.